What's going on, everybody? Man, Micah's back with another video. Back here to talk about One UI 4.5.1 on the Galaxy Z Flip 4. Yes, I have the unlocked bespoke edition here in this what was supposed to be red, clearly not red model. And here are some of the features that I didn't share in my previous video with the S22 Ultra. If you want to find out more features from 5.1, of course, check that video out. Maybe I put it up right here. But let's get into the features that we were able to find with the 5.1 update on the Flip 4. But before we do, if you guys haven't already, make sure to ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, so that way you notice my videos, so that way you sit back to actually what's cracking. But now, let's get back to the video. And the first feature we're gonna talk about is that object detection clipper tool feature that everybody's going insane over. We know the iPhones have it. The S23 Ultra, which is kind of funny, my T-Mobile variant model, and I'm imagining some other people probably noticed this with their S23 Ultra models or the S23 series nonetheless. Prior to the February security patch, that clipper tool actually wasn't available yet until they pushed out that February update, and then the clipper tool is now available to be able to create quick stickers by pressing and holding on the screen with pictures you've taken in the gallery app. Well, here on the Flip 4 One UI 5.1, that feature is not available. And as I said, yes, I do have the unlocked model, the bespoke edition, you can tell by the color, and it is not available on my model yet. I don't know why Samsung's playing fast and loose with this feature, but I would imagine that that feature will come in a later update, maybe with the March security patch for the Z Flip 4. So I definitely wanted to get that tool out first. And while we're talking about the gallery, let's go ahead and get this screen recording going right here. All right. Skip that countdown. We're in. Let's go into the gallery, shall we? And let's see what some of the new features are in gallery. So if you click the search button up at the top, you notice that you have locations. If you have your pictures and certain images and all that type of stuff geotagged, you will have the ability to search based off location. Now they'll pop up with basically location-based folders, or you can use the search function at the top to search for those pictures. You have your shot types that you can search for, along with the documents, credit cards, and other things or scenery. Now, one of the things that I would like to note is if you make albums and you name those albums, or you name people within those albums, you will also be able to search via the search function up at the top. So let's say, as you see here, one of my random searches was my wife's name. The only thing that pops up is one image of a bill that was paid with her name mentioned within the document. That's how fine-tuned this search feature is within the gallery app. And if you want to speak, of course, it uses Google speech to text to be able to search via voice typing. I like that feature a lot. Now, if you back out, one of the other features that they have, of course, is being able to do shared albums with family members. Meaning, if you create an album on here and share it with a family member, not only can you add pictures to it and alter pictures, but so can those members that you added to that shared album. So if we click on shared album, get started, shared family album, then it walks you through it. Space for so many memories. You get 5 gigs of extra storage space for each family member you add, up to 6 people, which means you basically get about 30 gigs of additional storage. Effortless sharing. Choose who you want in the album, then gallery will automatically suggest pictures of those people to add. Open for editing. Everyone in your family can add to and edit the album. If you click get started, it gives you another pop-up. Stay connected. Room for all your memories. Bring the kids. Create family group. Now, now that you're finally in here, you have settings that lets you know your storage. But then if you want to click on this shared family, you click on the plus icon, you can add items to the album. And then what you would do is you can have suggested pictures and videos. So if you click on that, you can select who. No people found right now because I don't have anybody labeled. But if you label them within your pictures, they will start to populate in this album. And then, of course, those people will probably get automatically added to the album based off those pictures. You click on album settings. Of course, you can rename the album. You can add pictures and videos with selected people. Select people to include. Now, if I click on this, again, I don't have nobody to add. But this is, again, you may have to do a little bit of work on your end with those pictures to create that album, which most likely those who create albums understand that and will do. But when you do that, you see the feature. It's kind of emulating Google Photos in a way when it comes to album sharing, album creating. Now, let's jump into multitasking. And what are some of the things that you're able to do now, or that have been fine-tuned, is the pop-up view. So, go to settings, go to advanced features, go to labs, full screen and split screen, swipe for pop-up view. So if you click on that, it shows you right here. By dragging from any of the corners, it now even more seamlessly automatically pop-up views whatever app you're in. So if I swipe from one of the corners, as you see, just like that, I was able to pop-up view. Click on it, I can re-expand it, I can change the icons, of course, right? If I'm clicking on this, it changes it to that. If I want it to come back, boom, I could change it to split screen if I wanted to. And while we're talking about split screen, here's the other feature that's been added with One UI 5.1. Your recent apps and your most used apps are now at the top. So that way you can quickly split screen your apps based off of your most recent usage. And of course, with the machine learning, it will understand what apps to suggest based off of maybe the time and frequency of the apps that you use. So that way you get the best recommendations while multitasking. And with index mode, I'm not going to show you on the phone, but with index mode, you can now basically four-corner pair apps. So by swiping either corner or moving the app to corners, it will section the app either split screen, as in half of your screen will be used, or you can do 4 apps, one in each corner of the display. So I think that's pretty cool and pretty unique. Something that we wish they already would have did with Dex. You can manually do it. It will allow you to do 3 in tablet mode or index mode, but then that 4th one, you kind of have to retrofit yourself. But it's nice to see that it's even more clean and fluid to do it post the One UI 5.1 update. Another thing that they've improved on and or fixed for the Z Flip 4 in particular is the cameras. The cameras are very clean now. They've definitely done some tuning to the software and the computational photography aspect of the cameras on the Z Flip 4, and have added the camera assistant features. So of course I'm going to show you by going into Good Lock to get there. And if you guys want to see how I have my Z Flip 4 right now, I can do another video on what's on my Z Flip 4 and what's on my phone and show you guys how I have it set up. But if you go on over to Life Up, you should see Camera Assistant. Now I don't have it downloaded on this phone because it wasn't necessarily available for the Z Flip 4, if I'm correct. The Camera Assistant nor Expert RAW was not necessarily available on the Z Flip 4 like that. Those are things that have now been addressed with 5.1 to bring that to the Z Flip 4. The Z Fold 4 had it, and of course the S22 series had it, but not the Flip 4. The Flip 4 was always lacking in features and also clearly lacking in expediency when it came to timely updates. This phone was pretty much the last to get it of the new phones, and this phone just came out around 6 months ago. So I would like to see Samsung improve their timely fashion when it comes to updates for the Z Flip 4, because it makes it feel like it's lesser than when all the other newer phones get the updates, but the Flip 4. Even the Flip 3 got the update before the Flip 4. Pretty interesting. But back to the cameras, open it up as you see here, auto HDR, picture softening, you have off, medium, high, you have quick tap shutter, and if I do that, of course it says as soon as your finger touches the shutter button instead of when you lift it off. That helps to lessen the shutter lag that these cameras have. Samsung's still hasn't quite improved. I mean, they've improved it, but not to the degree in which we want to see it improved to. But this is a step forward with Camera Assistant, and then with these Good Lock features, they kind of slowly massage these into the official settings for One UI and Samsung Galaxy devices. And of course, for me, I prioritize quality. I don't mind the shutter lag, or the processing time rather, when it comes to me taking pictures, because I want to get the best image as opposed to speed, because I'm pretty steady-handed and I don't mind sitting there for an extra second or two Of course, you can video record in photo mode. You can put a timer on it. You know, how many pictures will it take in succession using the timer. And then of course you can have your camera timeout. I usually like 5 to 10 minutes when I'm not touching it. And then of course you can dim the screen while recording. I do after 10 minutes, meaning like if I'm recording from a phone right now, the screen on the other side of the screen I'm looking at would dim to save power. And I actually would like that because it also cuts down on the heat that the device now has to build up, because you're not flashing that screen so hard. You're already using the hardware for video, primarily video or photo. And of course, clear preview on HDMI. If you're using your device, hooked it up to the HDMI, you get a clean image, no settings on the screen. So I like that feature there as well. And of course, as I said, export RAW. I think I have it downloaded. If I don't, you would have to download it from the Galaxy Store. So if we go to the Galaxy Store, I can show you guys here. Do not show again. I don't like those ads. And if I go export RAW, it should pop up. Now this, I'm going to try opening the camera app to see if it will pop up in here. So if we come in here, go into settings. Now mind you, there's some settings that have been added in here as well, meaning this filter, you can filter, you know, things, you can filter your face. So if we back out of that, go into settings, we got watermark, advanced picture options, of course, video. So camera assistant is built into the camera settings within the camera app, which is also good to see. Make sure there's nothing to update here. So I don't see it there. If we scroll all the way over here to the side and see if they added export RAW, I think it was a feature that they, okay, you're just gonna close on me. All right. This is very interesting. So now you guys get to see, for the first time in a very long time, all right, there we go. So yes, I don't see it up here in the options, which means it is true for the S23 series. It is built into the phone settings, export RAW. Now, I believe if I spent more time, I could find export RAW. Let's see if I type in camera, see if anything pops up. But export RAW is supposed to be available for the Z Flip4 too now. So it's interesting that I can't find it anywhere. I thought I had it. Well, of course I wouldn't have had it, but that just shows you the lack of camera features that they still hold back with the Z Flip4. Another feature I'd like to show you guys is within the clock app. Now with timers, you can add multiple timers. So let's say I want to start one at 10 minutes, I can start that. If I hit plus, it will start another one at 10 minutes. So I have two going right now at the same time. And then I think I can add another one. So I have 3 timers going. So, and then of course you can delete them, you can pause them. A great feature that this would, a great case that this feature would be useful for is, let's say you're cooking food. Maybe you're making some brownies or some cookies in the oven. Maybe you're making some food on the stove. You're trying to multitask. You're cooking and baking, and you got a 15-minute timer for your food on top of the stove. Then you got a 10-minute timer for your cookies. That way you can be informed regardless of what's happening. You don't have to worry about letting one timer go down and then try to set another one, and you're kind of lost on time. You can multitask even your timers, and I like that about Samsung, and thinking about even those small cases with basic apps like the clock app. Let's jump into settings, another feature that I've highlighted before, but there's been an adjustment to, and that is modes and options. So, or modes and routines, excuse me. Now, for conversation purposes, I'm not gonna go all the way into my modes, but, well, I guess I could. I just type on sleep. And as you guys can see here, you can operate each mode based off of the day or based off of the mode you want to set. Sleep in particular, how to act, deal with sleep, you can do based off of what you're wearing. In my case, I got the Galaxy Watch 4 on, but I'm not using that case because it's a little wonky, I think. It doesn't work to its full potential because I have a Galaxy Fit 2 attached to this phone, and if I'm not wearing it like that, it will assume my phone sleep. So that's a feature you have to be mindful of if you decide to use it. Excuse you. But it is a feature nonetheless. You can, and then of course, do not disturb settings. You can set what you want to set. You change your settings, and then of course change your wallpapers such as your lock screen, your home screen, and if you have a wearable, you can change that wallpaper as well. I find that to be very, very useful with these phones. Now, what changed? On this S23 Ultra in particular, the feature was working just fine until the February security patch hit, and it broke it. Now, what I did was I turned off the phone, I booted into basically recovery mode, I wiped the cache partition, then I rebooted the phone, and then I went back into modes and routines, and each mode I basically turned off and turned back on based off of my settings that I had for it, so that way it would kind of reset the modes and routines, and now it works relatively better now. So keep that in mind. If you're using modes and routines, you're noticing that your modes are not working as properly as they should, think about wiping the cache partition, think about just turning off the mode and turning it back on, maybe tweak a setting here or there, and then, you know, reverse that tweak, and then it should make everything well again. I had to do that. I didn't really like that because everything should have still been running just fine, but of course with a phone or a device such as a Samsung device, you're gonna have a bunch of features jam-packed, and it might even confuse the phone sometimes. So don't be scared that it's not working. That might just be the reason why. And the last feature I want to highlight that may not even be a feature of One UI 5.1 to be honest, but is a feature that is pretty cool. If you come into your quick settings and you scroll all the way over, you can now take, where'd it go? Okay, so let's go ahead and go into my edit buttons, and you can take a screenshot right there. So you can have a button in your quick settings to take a screenshot. So if you don't want to do the power button and volume down at the same time, you don't want to swipe across the screen, just use the quick button in your quick settings to take a screenshot. I find it to be very, very useful. I don't find it to be useful. I find it to be convenient for those who may use that option. The most convenient option for me is swiping across the screen with my devices, or with the S23 Ultra in particular. I take the S Pen out and screen write that way, or Smart Select and screenshot what I need to. So those are the features of One UI 5.1 that I didn't get into with the S23, or well, I don't even have one for the S23 Ultra. I don't really need to. The S22 Ultra, and now here with the Z Flip 4. Of course, maybe I'll do a quick video, maybe even a short, showing the object clipper tool working. It does work on the S23 Ultra, so maybe I can show that to you guys. But as of right now on the Flip 4, I don't know what's up with Samsung playing fast and loose with it, or being inconsistent with it working or being activated. But as of right now, February 27th, it is not working. But I imagine it will soon. Let me know down in the comment section below what's some of your favorite features from One UI 5.1 or in previous updates from Samsung. Let me know down in the comment section below. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that we know my videos. So that we sit back, chillax, see what's cracking with your man Micah, signing out until the next video. Wait for